Hey there guys, it's Attack on Samurott. I sound like I just woke up because I kinda just did. But this is week 6 of the OBA and our opponent is the Liverpool Linoones, and their draft is really good right now, especially after they traded a while back. So this is their team now. Their team before I think had Crobat instead of Gudra, and he had a Ninetales instead of the Dusknoir, and he had a Victini as well instead of Arcanine. But this is what his team looks like now. Oh yeah, also instead of Braviary, I think he had I forgot what he had instead of Braviary. Shoot, what did he have instead of Braviary? I don't remember, but anyways, he's been trading a lot, and he's got some really good stuff to actually help him in his draft. So he's got Manaphy, Clefable, and a Powdon for his OU picks. He's got Mega Aggron, Arcanine, and Gudra for his UU picks. He's got Tangrowth, Braviary, and Slowking for his RU pick. And for anyone below, he has Gothitelle, Dusknoir, and Electivire. So a very good draft. It's actually very scary and it's really powerful, but it's also really slow as well. The fastest mana in his team is actually Manaphy, which is like base 100. So yeah, still it's a very good team, and he could run Trick Room if he really wants to. I don't know if it'll be beneficial to him. It could be, but anyways, so this is going to be my team for this week against him. So recently I did trade. I traded my Venusaur for a Mamoswine from the Minnesota ScythaGangs. So I feel like Mamoswine's going to put in a lot of work. So yeah, so anyways, this is going to be my team. So I'm bringing Mega Blastoise, Mamoswine, Tyranitar, Volcarona, Latias, and Luxray for this week. So the set for Mega Blastoise is going to be Hydro Pump, Roar, Ice Beam, and Rapid Spin. Hydro Pump because it hits. No one on his team really takes a Hydro Pump from Mega Blastoise that well. I mean, Slowking could take it, and probably Gudra and Manaphy, but everyone else doesn't really take it that great. So Hydro Pump, I feel, is going to be very useful. Roar. That's mainly going to be for one particular Pokemon that he has, and that's Gothitelle. And I guess, actually it's Gothitelle, Clefable, and Manaphy, because those three really like to set up. So forcing them out with Roar is like the main thing I want Blastoise to do, because if they set up, it could be game over for me. So forcing them out is my plan. Ice Beam, super effective against Gudra, Tangrowth, and Braviary. So yeah, and Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards that you could set up with a Powdon, Clefable, or Mega Aggron. So that's pretty much gonna be it for Blastoise. Just pretty much offensive with a bit of utility. So yeah, and now we're gonna move on to Mamoswine. So I decided to trade Venusaur for Mamoswine, because Venusaur doesn't really do much to this team. It just really doesn't. It doesn't really take a hit from Braviary that well. There's also the fact that he has two Psychic types that can do a lot of damage to Venusaur, and plus Venusaur can't do much back to it. So granted, it would have been a really good wall to Manaphy, but Manaphy could just Tail Glow up and you could just destroy Venusaur. So, and there's also the fact that he has Arcanine as well, and Braviary. I think I already mentioned Braviary, but yeah, Venusaur just didn't really work out for me. So that's why I decided to trade for Mamoswine, because Mamoswine is actually going to put out a lot of damage. There's really not much on this team that appreciates a hit from it besides Mega Aggron, since that is his most defensive mon on his team. So this is going to be the set for this week. knockoff, icicle crash, earthquake, stealth rock. So, and also a life orb set. So knockoff is good because it does a lot to Slow King and Gothitelle, who both don't have the best. I mean, actually, no, I take that back. Gothitelle has really good defenses, but Tangrowth doesn't have the best defenses. I mean, Slow King doesn't have the best defenses, so knockoff is going to do a lot of damage to it. Icicle Crash because it's stab, and it also does a lot to Tangrowth, Goodra, and Braviary, and I guess Hippowdon as well. And Earthquake because it's stab, and it hits Electro for super effective, and also Arcanine as well. So, and Stealth Rocks because it can whittle down Braviary, and also Arcanine as well. So it's good for getting a little bit of chip damage with it. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Max speed, max attack, Mamoswine, and also 4 in defense. So that way I can at least, Mamoswine can at least take a few physical hits, maybe from Braviary, or I don't know if he runs offensive Goodra, physical Goodra, but he could. And also since I have thick fat, since Mamoswine is thick fat, it can take a fire type move, so it can probably take a fire type move decently well from Arcanine, maybe. Depending on how he runs it, he could just run it defensively. Since he knows I drafted it, since he knows I got Mamo, so he could run it defensive, but then there's also the possibility of him running it offensive. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for Mamo. So now we're going to move on to T-Tar, and T-Tar is going to be really good this week. So we're going to be running an offensive T-Tar this time. So for the past couple of weeks I've been running a defensive. This time it's time to switch to offense. So I wanted to run offensive T-Tar this week because offensive T-Tar does a lot of damage to his team. There's really not much. I mean, if he runs Unaware or Fable, then that's probably the only thing that can take a hit from it, and I guess Aggron as well. But so this is going to be the set, D-Dance, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Crutch, pretty standard. Also with the Lumberry, so that way I don't get burned by defensive Arcanine, or get skulled by Slow King, or Manaphy. So yeah, so Earthquake super effective against his against the Electivire, like I mentioned before. Stone Edge, strong move, does a lot to the Braviary, also the Manaphy, and other stuff besides Aggron, and of course Hippowdon, and Crunch for stab, and also does a lot to Slow King and Gothitelle, and also Dusknoir as well. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Just a standard D-Dance set with T-Tar. So now we're going to move on to Volcarona. So I'm running Volcarona this week because, again, just like Blastoise and I guess Mamo as well, there's really not much. I mean, he does have a few mons on his team that can definitely wall Volcarona, like Manaphy definitely walls it, but I'm actually running it defensive this week. I know it's kind of weird, but I feel like defensive Volcarona is the way to go, because, well, I mean, how should I say this? Basically Volcarona, I mean, I need okay, so I wanted to run a semi-defensive Volcarona because a skull from an offensive Manaphy is going to do a huge amount, so I didn't want to run it offensive this week, just because of that fact. So yeah, so anyways, the moveset going to be Toxic, Bug Buzz, Overheat, and Roost, kind of similar to the one I had a few weeks ago. I mean, the one I had, I think it was last week or the week before. Just that this time I don't have U-Turn. I was considering U-Turn just because of Gothitelle, and also to get some switch initiative, but I don't know yet. I don't know, but I think for now I'm gonna stick with this. So Toxic, very good for wearing down his defensive threats like Hippowdon, Dusknoir, Gothitelle, Slowking, Manaphy, Clefable if it's not Magic Guard, Tangrowth, Goodra as well. So Toxic is pretty much good for a lot of his things. Bug Buzz because it's stab and it does a lot to Slowking and Gothitelle. Overheat because it actually I think it Oko's Mega Aggron with this set. I think it does, or it's like I'm trying to remember. I think it's like I think with Stealth Rocks it has a high chance of taking it out. I think, but yeah, and Roost for recovery. Actually, let me check. I need to check my damage calc real quick, so you guys get to see how I, kind of broke this down. So, and it's not responding. Great. Come on. Stupid laptop. Work, please. Please work. Please work. Please don't do this during recording. Please don't. Come on, damage calc. Why are you doing this? Okay, you know what, so anyways, like I said before, with this set with Volcarona, it can actually live a Rock Slide from Mega Aggron, and also I guess from and also like I mentioned before from Manaphy, it can live a hit from it. Yeah, like I think 60%. I think. Okay, that's not the set. Volcarona. Oh, Volcarona. I think it was this one. Was it this one? No, that's not it. I don't think I saved it. Okay, well, basically with this set, actually I think I could just import it, I guess. Let's go to Mega Aggron. Let's go OU Tank. Actually, no, I want to go. I think it was a Yu-Gi Tank that it can actually live a hit from it. I think it was this one. But let's see. Let's put in the set I have for you. 200, 134, 174, and you are Bold Nature. If the thing pops up, please pop up. Oh my gosh, thanks. Taking too long. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of this. No, not this. I mean, let's move. Let's give you overheat. Okay, so this set with an overheat actually does about 30%. So it's not the best. I mean, it's not the best set for it, but having a defensive Volcarona, having this defensive Volcarona can actually be useful. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for Volcarona. Actually, wait, I wanted to show off how well Volcarona can actually live a hit from Manaphy. Let's give you Bug Buzz as well. Let's see, let's get Manaphy out here. Because with this set, usually Manaphy's like to run Tail Glow and stuff. So without the Tail Glow up, let's see. So yeah, Skull does a good amount to me right here. So it does about a little over 50%. So I can recover that up, and I could go for Toxic. Yeah, it's not a bad set. They can actually put in some decent work. So that's gonna be it for Volcarona, and now we're gonna move on to Gladius. So with So next we have Latias. So I wanted to bring Latias this week because Latias has a good amount of damage to his team. Also I needed another wall. Well, a semi-wall sort of. So this is how Latias is going to be run this week. Healing Wish, Thunderwave, Draco, and Psyshock. Before I was actually thinking about making it a Wish Passer. But I feel like maybe running Healing Wish is better. Just for maybe for Blastoise or for T-Tar, that could be useful. Especially if they're burned or toxic or something. Then they'll be back to full health. Thunderwave, because I mean, Latias is already fast enough. It's technically the fastest mon in my draft, or it is the fastest mon in my draft. I was considering not running Thunderwave just because of that fact, but I think Thunderwave is good because it's good for Manaphy basically, because that thing can't it's the fastest mon on his team, so putting that thing, I mean, paralyzing it would actually be very beneficial to me. Also I could, and also it's for a Gothitelle as well, because Triscarf Gothitelle with Trick is annoying. So even though unfortunately Latias can't outspeed it, I still think it would be good though, or maybe for Braviary as well. So yeah, and Draco hits everything besides Clefable, since it is part fairy. I mean, since it is fairy. And Psyshock, he doesn't have any fighting types, but it's good stab, and it is a decent amount to most of his team. So or draft. So yeah, it's gonna pretty much be it for Latias. Also running the leftovers as well. So yeah, it's pretty much gonna be it. So now we're gonna move on to Luxray. Oh, don't. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now this time I'm gonna be running Luxray with Guts. Guts Luxray is gonna put in a lot of work for me. It's gonna do a lot of damage as well. So this is gonna be its set: Iron Tail, Wild Charge, Protect, and Volt Switch. Iron Tail is mainly a check for a Clefable. So it's a very good check for it. So that's why I wanted to run Iron Tail. Wild Charge hits everything besides, of course, Hippowdon. It's also a pretty hard-hitting move as well, especially with the Flame Orb. So not a lot of things in his team are gonna appreciate it that well. So yeah, and a Volt Switch, Protect to safely get my Flame Orb Guts boost up, and Volt Switch for Switch Initiative. So pretty much gonna be it for Luxray. So yeah, so who do I think he's gonna bring? Definitely Gothitelle. Gothitelle is definitely coming. I can already see it. He's definitely bringing that. Just because Gothitelle is a nuisance, especially with that Shadow tag. It can be a pain to deal with. That's basically why. The thing that Gothitelle likes to do, or at least that I've seen, is that it usually runs Choice Scarf and it has Trick on it, so that way it can so that way you can't switch out and you're forced to take the Trick, and then you just take a Choice Scarf that you don't want, and it can be useful, but at the same time it can really hurt you. So yeah, Gothitelle with Trick is probably the scariest thing, especially with Shadow tags. It's the scariest thing to see. So basically Blastoise and Luxray in a way are kind of a counter to it, because if it tricks them, it can't trick Blastoise because it's a Mega, and if he tricks Luxray, he's gonna take a Flame Orb. So his only option is to just Calm Mind, which he can't do because I have Roar for Blastoise, Psychic, which if he does do it, Luxray can live it and go for a wild charge, and it's gonna do a huge amount to it. Granted, all you would just have to do is, if he has a Powdon, which I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring, he could just switch into that, predicting an electric type move. Yeah, I kind of have a way to deal with Gothitelle, so this is, I guess, my counter to it in a way. They're both, Blastoise and Luxray are kind of my counter to it. So yeah, so he's definitely gonna bring Gothitelle. I definitely see him bringing Braviary because there really isn't much. He probably doesn't see much on my team that can actually take a Brave Bird from this thing. Granted, I could have brought Avalugg just for this Braviary. I was actually really considering that, but I didn't really know who to take out. I mean, I could have taken out Mamo. I could have, but Mamo is just really good, so I just couldn't risk using Avalugg. Again, I really could have used Avalugg just to counter Braviary. It probably would have been really good, actually, especially for that Braviary. And also the fact that it's really, really defensive, I could have brought it, but I'm still debating on it. I don't know. I think, yeah, you know what? I think actually the decisions I made will work. But yeah, Braviary, it's a hard hitting mon. I could have brought Avalugg, but I just didn't. So yeah, he could bring double Regenerator with Slowking and Tangrowth. He could do that. I don't really see it though, so I don't think he's gonna bring it. So I think it's gonna be Gothitelle, Braviary. I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring Arcanine if he wants to for Intimidate. He's probably gonna bring that, so he may bring a defensive Arcanine or an offensive one. So Arcanine definitely gonna be on there. I kind of see Clefable, just because of how much of a wall it can be, especially with Unaware or Magic Guard. It can be a huge wall, so I think he's gonna bring that. So Gothitelle, Braviary, Arcanine, Clefable. I think he may want to bring Aggron, just because he may need another wall. He could bring it, but then there's a chance of him not bringing it just because he could be afraid of Volcarona. And like I mentioned before, Volcarona does a lot to his team, so I don't really see him bringing it. I'm pretty sure he's going to bring Manaphy though. So Gothitelle, Braviary, Arcanine, Manaphy, Clefable. I think that's 5 so far. So his last mon, I think it's going to be a Powdon. If he wants to get... No, I don't think he... Would he bring it? I mean, he does get Stealth Rock and Slack Off. He's also got Stockpile and stuff. He's got Roar. He's got Whirlwind and stuff. But I don't think he's gonna bring it Powdon, just because of how powerful Mega Blastoise is. I think he's gonna bring Tangrowth though. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's gonna bring Goodra. Yeah, you know what? I think he's gonna bring Goodra. So Gothitelle, Braviary, Arcanine, Clefable, Manaphy, and Goodra. Gothitelle, Arcanine, Braviary, Manaphy, Clefable, Goodra. Yeah, I think that's gonna be his team. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be his team. I mean, my guess could be wrong. He could bring Mega Aggron and won't fear it Volcarona. Just due to the fact that he has 2 water types and he has a counter to it anyway, being Braviary and Manaphy. He could do that, but this is just a guess. I don't know if he will bring. Mega Aggron, but yeah. Again, I'm sorry. I wanted to put this up on Saturday, but I couldn't because stuff happened. Also, I was a bit lazy, so yeah. So this is gonna be going up after the battle. So yeah. So anyways, I don't know what else to say. So thank you guys for watching. And I will see you when the battle happens. So take care, and we're gonna have and this is gonna be a rough battle. It's gonna be very difficult, but yeah, so take care guys, and I will see you when the battle happens.